Beautiful people. Yes. Oh my goodness. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Nadira Lugg, and I'm the president, founder, spiritual coach, entertaining tarot reader of One Love and Light Center located here in California. And we are a spiritual center that help people find and maintain their blissful Zen. So in other words, I love to tell people, think of us as your elevated operators to elevated consciousness. Yes. And we do this in a myriad of ways. We do this through the practice of yoga, guided meditation, Reiki healing sessions, because yes, I am a Reiki master. And the reason why we are here today through the practice of tarot and oracle readings. Now, beautiful people, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who have been there from day one or came in between, it doesn't matter when you came. I'm glad you're here, and thank you. Thank you so much for your support, your kind words. I've been receiving a lot of beautiful text messages and periodically just some chiming in and checking in with some love, and I truly appreciate it all. I do. So just quickly before we even get started into the tarot reading, I just wanted to give a quick update and let you know that this past Mother's Day, which reminds me, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers and those who are mothers to their fur babies. And as my father always tells me, mothers of civilization, because I'm always teaching the young. So even though I have yet to give birth of my own, I am a mother of civilization, and I love to share information to all. I guess that will always be the teacher, the retired teacher in me. So yes, happy belated Mother's Day to one and all. For those of you who are new to this channel, I recently lost my mommy. I did. 12/22/22. Now those are some numbers I know I will never forget. And so with that being said, this past Mother's Day, what we did was my mother was cremated. She never wanted a funeral. She wanted a party. And because my mother was a strong person of event planning, because she was bad, she was baddie. She was a baddie when it came to the event planning. She used to do an annual Mother's Day, honoring all the mothers. And everyone loved, near and far, came to this Mother's Day event that was hosted in Chicago. So the family and I got together, and we thought that it would be the perfect time to do her homegoing ceremonial party during that particular day that she does every year. It's always the Saturday before Mother's Day. And so we had to fly out there. I did a lot of the planning. It was very nerve-wracking in the sense, but I am glad that I was able to do it. I've realized I had some aha moments. Event planning is not my jam, and I am forever going to be grateful for the people who stepped in to help, because anytime I've even had an idea or an event, my mother planned it. So this is the time I had to really dive in deep into all the things that I learned watching my mom or participating and helping my mom with these events. And it was up to me. And the beauty of it all was I had a tribe of people who literally came in, stepped in, and volunteered their time, their effort, their advice to help me to get this thing together. And although all kind of craziness happened, it wound up being a beautiful, awesome event. And with it, I got some closure. Now, during this time of planning, we have full moons. We had a full moon in Scorpio that wiped me out. So that's why I didn't come out here to do a tarot reading. We had two eclipse phenomenons. We had a solar and a lunar. I was not prepared for either of those as well, because all energy went into the planning. So that is why you are missing some of those readings. But please, as I always tell my students, and as I'm sharing with my viewers right now as you tune in, sometimes the healer, well, it's not even sometimes, the healer needs healing. And so real life happens. And because real life happens, I had to switch up the game, and I had to focus on me and the goal at hand. And I wanted my mother's event to be phenomenal. And it did. I manifested. I had set the intention. I created, and it all worked out. It really did. And I want to just say, shout out to the tribe. The tribe they showed up and showed out. And I'm so very grateful for that. And in the meantime, like I said, wound up having words of encouragement from fellow One Love and Lighters. And I really appreciate that. I really do. So had some closure, found some happiness. I even received an awesome one of them. I cherish this gift. This was given to me by someone who couldn't even, they didn't attend the event. And it's amazing. That's me and my mommy. She took this candid picture and made this everything that's happened. I cherish that. So best believe that sucker is right next to me. It's always going to be on my desk. When this thing is over, I will be moving this laptop and I'll be putting this back on there. And to be honest, the whole event and all of this have given me closure, and it's gotten me back into a perfect alignment. And I'm so appreciative of that. So that's the life update. And so, beautiful people, let's get into what we're here for. We are in the process right now of dealing with 5, actually 3 planets, 2 luminaries in the sign of Taurus. Yes, come through. So happy birthday, all my Taurus brothers and sisters. I am married to a Taurus, and so it is so amazing to be able to be in this energy, be in my household with this Taurus energy. And let me say this. So not only are we in the sun sign of Taurus, we're also in the moon, the new moon. That's why we are here for the new moon in Taurus. And we're also, Taurus is ruled right now in the planet of Mercury. It's in the planet of Uranus, and it just entered into the planet of abundance, which is Jupiter. So Mercury is all about communication, information, knowledge, how we interpret information, how we communicate. And we've gotten out of a Mercury retrograde. So this is perfect opportunity as well. I hope you all survived it. We're still in the shadow side, but we're good. I'm claiming we're good. How about that one? Yes. And Uranus is the trailblazer. It is the innovation, the humanitarian, the planet of change, and being different, being a visionary, just being a rebel. And it's okay. It's okay if it suits the need of humanity and for individuality and for the futuristic view of things. It's the innovation, energy of innovation. And so we embrace that. And like I said, Jupiter is all about expansion, abundance, growth, knowledge, everything. Just go big or go home. Since it is the biggest planet out of the solar system, go big or go home. And so it can represent travel. It can represent everything. And all of these planets and luminaries are in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is known as our earth energy. They're known as the practical, analytical sign. And that because Taurus is ruled by Venus, it is all about love, balance, harmony. It's about stability. It rules the second house, which is all about possession, our homes. That's why a lot of Taurus and people, they value their home for so many reasons. It's their sanctuary. It is their safe ground. That's grounded energy. Remember, earth signs, grounded energy. And so it's about comfort. It's about the 5 senses. It's about everything that makes me feel good in that sense for that Taurus energy. And I'm so proud and glad about it because I just went into my progressed moon in Taurus. I left Aries that had me working out like a damn fool for 2.5 years. And now I just moved into Taurus energy. So now my whole objective is my career, my finances, and my money, which is a serious Taurus thing. They're about their money, their home, their possessions, their values. And it's not necessarily just the value of their home, it's the value traditional of literal values. What do I value in my heart, my mind, my family, my personal life, my routines? The Taurus is all about routines. And they have a tendency to keep to the same routine every single day, all the way down to the fact of eating the same thing. If it's, I have to eat the same thing on Monday, I have to eat the same thing on Wednesday, I got to eat or every single day. So it's all about routines for them. It's a safe, sound situation. And so feeling secure, feeling at home, feeling for themselves. They're also the ones who just kind of keep eye on things. They sit back and watch everything going around. Very, like I said, they're the quiet, silent, quiet types. They're called the Buddha. They're also called the earth spirit. Okay. And so again, just all about that calm energy. All right. And so, beautiful people, with all of these planets and luminaries in this energy, if you find yourself being of that grounded, sound mind, just moving slow and steady, that's really what it's about, moving like a turtle, slow and steady. But the goal will get met, because one thing about a Taurus, they're determined. They will complete a job. They will stay on that job until it's total completion, because it's about a dedication. So Taurus energy or Taurus people, very loyal, very, like I said, grounded and loyal. Okay. And so that is the energy we are working with. That is what we're here for. And beautiful people, we're doing it. This message is for the collective of how we can best harness this wonderful new moon energy in Taurus. So without further ado, this message is for you, my collective. Let's go. As always, I'm so glad I started with that little information. As always, we're going to start with our tarot cards. And first one up, after I talk to my angels, ancestors, spirit guides, divine one, and I feel so safe and sound because, again, I already know I got another one with my mommy. But these are the messages. Let's go. First one up, we have Hangman, 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 and underneath the deck, we have King of Cups, King of Cups. All right, so let's start. Let's get this cracking. So the Hangman comes right after number 11, the Justice card. So justice, when we talk about the Fool's Journey, because that's what the tarot is all about, the Fool's Journey tells a story. The fool has now been sentenced. Okay, he went through the court system. He's been sentenced. And what was his sentence? His sentence was to be hanged or hung. Okay, so we have the number 12, Hangman. All right, and so Hangman is all about a sacrifice, a surrendering. It's finally that surrendering and letting go. And so it's synonymous with I can't even think of the character's name, but he's in Thor. He's Thor's father. I'm having a brain fart, but that's okay. The point of the matter is the comparison is that in this surrendering of letting go, in this fatal situation of being sentenced and being sentenced as the hanged man, there's a lot of aha moments. Because at this point, there is no control. What control does he or she have at this moment? The fool now must surrender. He's been sentenced. He's hanging. There's no place else to go. But in this space and in this place, all is not lost, because hopefully I can get this light. I've also changed the whole dynamic of things. Like I said, I'm in a switcheroo kind of phase in my life. And so until I can get what I really want, like I really want it, this is what we got. And I probably will keep switching, but that's all right. But even in this moment, there is a moment of enlightenment. If you can see the glowing light around the crown of the head, the chakra is always considered the crown chakra, and that's the 7th chakra. And so remember, number 7 is always associated with spirituality when it comes to numerology. And so there's an enlightenment at this point because there's a power in surrendering. Okay. So a lot of us are probably going through some issues of wanting to be in control, but noticing things are out of control in this situation. And this is where a great Taurus energy comes in. But let me give you a couple of keywords that go along with the Hangman. We have self-sacrifice, spiritual growth, prophecy, involuntary, submission, trust is being tested, suffering, new perspective, and lastly, unconventional. Now, these kinds of words leading me to, Spirit is explaining to me right now that a lot of times we are placed in positions where we have no control. I had no control over what was going on with my mother as she was dealing and battling cancer. I was there to support her. I was there to try to ease her in her healing. But at the end of the day, I had to surrender to the final outcome of what was going on, which unfortunately wound up being death on this earthly plane. Okay. But I had to what? Surrender. And so, beautiful people, I share this intimate personal story of my own, as I always will use myself as an example, because at that time of being angry and upset over the fact of and the inevitable of death from my mommy, I had to surrender to the fact that it wasn't my call to be here, for her to be here at this mission. Everyone has a time slot, and we don't know when we check out. And if you do know, God bless your sweet soul. That must be a crazy life to be living if you know when the exact time and date you plan on checking out. But if you do, hey, go for it. I'm glad for you. You're ahead of the game. How about that? But for us, spiritual beings having a human experience, every day we have to flow. And every day when we're given a challenge, sometimes it is best, instead of fighting against the current in the river that when we feel like we're swimming and drowning in, sometimes it's best to surrender and flow and let go and go with the current. And then in the mindset, understand that it's not happening to us, but it's happening for us. And so a lot of times we have issues with that. And so the hangman, even though there's no place for him to go, his leg is tied, but it's crossed. And if you notice, this is like the figure 4, which is associated also with Jupiter. Jupiter has the signature of the 4. And like I said, I find it not a coincidence that we just entered into Jupiter with the Taurus energy. And again, Taurus energy is about patience. He has no place to go. But in the time of him surrendering, in this moment where he has no control, there's a process of enlightenment. If I turn it upside down, you'll be able to probably see it. There's a process of enlightenment. In the quiet, moments of quiet, and in the moments of challenges, if we get still and we learn to surrender to the process of our spirituality, and the process of tuning in, and the process of accepting it is happening for me for a reason. And if we get quiet, we can hopefully hone in into what is the message that's being delivered to us. And so right now, for those of you who are dealing with some particular challenge right now, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who had to grieve and deal with Mother's Day, but other people can deal with all other challenges. Find the point where you can just take a moment to surrender. There's a reason why you're going through it. You may not like it. I'm sure no one likes to go through that process. I didn't like it. I didn't like seeing my mommy suffer, but I found a peace in knowing that she was not suffering any longer once she passed and left this physical plane. And so all I say is that I'm receiving, beautiful people. If you can change the thinking process of it's happening for you versus it's happening to you, you'll be able to flow a lot better. Spirit is letting me know you got to flow. Okay, so whatever it's going through, let it go through. This is your test so that you can have a testimony, but it'd be one hell of a testimony, just like I've got one right now. Come through. Also, we have underneath the deck, because we're moving on, is King of Cups. Now, King of Cups is a wonderful court card. Why? He's a king. We can't get no better than a king, right? But not only that, he's the King of Cups. Now, cups is associated with water energy. That's our emotional side. That's our intuitive side. And because he's the king, he can get along with any and everybody. Why? Because he embodies compassion. He embodies love. He embodies a way of communicating with others that is more of a humanitarian in the sense. And so this is the energy we are working with this earth energy in Taurus. And understand this, earth energy and water energy work so well together. It does. It works well together, just like fire energy and air energy works well together. Air fans the flames for fire. Well, guess what? Water will water the earth to make things grow. And so embracing into your emotional side, your intuitive side, and being in this feminine energy of the moon, this new moon, embrace your emotional side. Embrace the things that are maybe triggering in this hangman I would say session or phase in this life. Tap into the emotional side. We know you want to get out of it. We got that. But again, it's about a surrender. There is a lesson and a message. And I'm telling you, once you figure out what that message is and what that lesson is, oh my goodness, it helps you in the expansion, which is again, a Jupiter, it's a Jupiter component. It really is. Again, expansion. Now, some of the keywords that's associated with the King of Cups: calm, emotion management, compassionate, generous, philanthropic, leadership. All kings are leaders. Strong social skills, professional, lonely, and artist. Lonely and artist. Now, one thing that is associated also with Taurus, they are the artists as well, because they are ruled by what? The planet of Venus, which is again about love, beauty, harmony, music, love. I keep saying love, but that's true. Love, artistry, anything of beauty. And so marrying the two with the emotional side, the compassionate side, it's not even just exuding compassion to others. We have first always have to learn, in order to harness our magic, we have to embrace the compassion and love for ourselves first before we can exude and help and spread our magic with others. We have to be the magician first. All right. And so, beautiful people, find the compassion in yourself if you're going through this phase of something difficult and challenging, and in this process of surrender. And if you need to reach out to people, then do that. There are compassionate people out there that are willing to listen to you. You have a tribe, just like I had it. I'm so grateful I had a tribe. And to be honest, sometimes it is these difficult times that will show you real talk who are in your corner. And those are the moments where when the tragedy is over, you've already cleaned house. Okay, I got to get rid of you. You got to go. Look, and when you make a decision to let people go, do it with a smile. Thank you. Thank you for showing me your real you. And I appreciate that, because we look, I no longer have to waste any time. You or me. Okay, you or I. How about that one? All right. So don't be upset. I mean, if you have your moment of, I can't believe, shock, awe, dismay, I get it. But find the lesson. After you identified the problem is you know, are they a friend? Are they a part of the tribe? Okay, you've identified the problem. What's the solution? They got to go. If they're not encouraging you to grow or to help in any kind of way, whether it's your mental, emotional, financial, physical, you've gotten your answer, and that's all right. Work with the data that you got, honor the data that you got, and move on for your best self and your best life. Come through. All right, let me get off my thank you spirits. Okay, somebody had to hear that one. I'm here. Somebody had to hear that. Okay, up next, we have the life coaching cards. I had to pull out some life coaching cards for this one today. And so, oh, let's go, let's go. We have 37, fear, fear, fear. Your fears are keeping you from moving forward into the life that you deserve. Your fears are keeping you from moving forward into the life that you deserve. So listen to me clearly, please. Through these challenges, what happens is sometimes we can get stagnant energy or defeat, feelings of defeat. I will admit I got into, going back to the previous example I gave, I was in a depression. I'm just going to be honest. I was in a depression. I lost my mother. What the hell? I lost my soulmate, my best friend. She wasn't just my mom. And even and during the ceremony, I had to explain to others, yes, no. She was my soulmate. And a lot of people have the misconception that a soulmate has to be something romantic. And I'm here to let you know, no, it's not. It's a person. It's an entity that comes in to challenge you, for you to be your best and highest self. It's someone who wants to see you grow. It's someone who's teaching you a lesson. You have soulmates that are there for a season and for a reason. And then you have some that are there for a lifetime. I married my soulmate. So that would be my romantic connection. But my mother was my soulmate because she was my first teacher. And in life, no matter what was going on, that woman challenged me. She did. But she forced me to grow. And that is all we can ask for those who are in our corner. We don't need to have a whole bunch of yes people around us. It doesn't make sense. There will be no reason why you should change, to grow, to develop, to evolve. And honey, in this lifetime, one thing is for certain, one thing is for sure. The only thing that's going to continue is consistent is change. And so you have to learn to change and adapt and evolve. And so I say this to say that if fears are keeping you from moving forward in this time of challenge, I'm here to remind you, fear is a figment of the imagination, and you empower it to get bigger and bigger and bigger. What are you afraid of? First things first, identify what the fear is. Once you've identified what the fear is, now that we got the problem, we already understand the problem, let's come up with some solutions to that. Is it fear of being alone? Is it fear that I'm all by myself in this place, in this city, in this space? Is it fear that no one will love me or I'm not worthy enough? Well, sweetheart, it is time to reprogram. First things first, my mother always used to tell me was, shoot, you better, the first friend, you better find a friend in the Lord, and then find a friend in yourself. Because guess what? We were born here by ourselves. And in the end, 9 times out of 10, we're going to die by ourselves. In the sense of, that's a passage no one else can take with you. It's your own journey. And so there's nothing wrong with the solitude. Sometimes solitude is best because now you can tune in and find out what you really like without any outside influences or somebody in your ear changing what you really feel or how you really want to express yourself. Sometimes there is beauty in the quiet and in the solitude. And if we can learn to master that, beautiful things can happen. So beautiful people, find out and identify what the fear is. And then out of that, fuck fear, get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. It's a figment of the imagination of how much power you put into it. And so a lot of times it can be debilitating because we stop with life. We stop with all kinds of wonderful opportunities that could come our way full of abundance because fear got in the way. How many opportunities went right past you because you were fearful of doing something or saying something and you regretted it? It's still in the back of your mind and you could replay it because now it's attached to that emotion of why didn't I say something and why didn't I do something at that moment? It's fear. And because of that, that's why it's best to sometimes surrender to the situation and then take a leap of faith. What's the worst that can happen? Don't even think about what the worst that can happen. Just do it. All you have to do is give from your heart, your soul, your spirit to give the best you can. Because at the end of the day, that's all you got. You only got one shot. You got one shot. Eminem has a song, Lose Yourself. I play this when I'm working out because it's the truth. You only got one shot. Do not miss your chance. This once in a lifetime opportunity comes in once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the moment. You got to own it and never let it go. You only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to flow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself. Those are some powerful lyrics. Powerful. And it's the truth. That one time that you decided that you just, because I'm scared, I can't get over it, could be your number one opportunity to get you out of the situation that you're in right now. And you've been praying all day and all night and wishing to get out of it. And now you had a solution to get out of it and you missed your chance. We don't have to live like that. Go for it. Go for it. That's all we can do. Just go for it, beautiful people. You also have number one, speaking up. Speaking up. All right, come through. Your soul is guiding you to stand in your light and speak your truth. Your soul is guiding you to stand in your light and speak your truth. So beautiful people, here we go. We have fear in speaking up. There is something you want to say, and I don't know who the person is you want to speak to, but you're supposed to speak up. Something you're seeing, something that you're dealing with, speak up, share it. Stand in your light, speak your truth. Could it be family? Could it be a significant other? Could it be a mentor? Could it be a boss? Whatever the situation is, speak your mind. I'm a firm believer. It is not what you do, it's how you do it. A lot of times people take things as negative because of the tone and the delivery of the person. But I promise you, if you set the intention before you even get started to get into your calm space, to get into your space of Zen, and sometimes even writing it out and delivering it nicely packaged, not thrown together and just on a piece of garbage, on a piece of rolled up, balled up piece of paper, if you can present it well, people can receive it well. And it's all about matching the energy. If you set the tone, set the intention before you even speak your mind, people will be more receptive to your message. But one thing is for sure, we have a voice, you have a voice, I have a voice in this world. And my God, you have got to use your voice, be a voice of change, be a voice of inspiration. I get some of the most wonderful, warm, inspirational messages periodically throughout the week by a beautiful soul named Theo and a beautiful soul named Desmond. And and even my auntie, my auntie, she's gonna be upset, but she doesn't watch these videos, but my auntie Rejeko. And these beautiful spirits come through with a wonderful message. And the amazing part about it is it never fails. I receive these messages when I'm having a moment of, I'm just not 100%, because it's not despair. It's when I'm just not 100% myself. But after I read these messages, it gives me a new way of seeing things or to be more re-energized. And that's why it's so important to understand who your tribe is and who are you allowing in your space or in your listening ear. And so beautiful people, use your magnificent voice to share a message. If it's in your heart and it needs to come out, present it, say it, embrace your energy, surrender to it, slow and steady. Use that Taurus energy. Remember, it's in Mercury too, slow and steady. Okay, that's all. And then write it out. Like I said, there's ways and methods to get it done. If you feel like it's going to be too jumbled, write it out so you can read it to the person. Okay, but either way it goes, and you don't have to send it in an email, just read it. Okay, and beautiful people, I'm a firm believer, don't text anything because the receiver is not understanding tonation. They didn't hear it and they don't understand how you deliver. So sometimes messages that are sent through emails and through text messages can be misconstrued. So it's always best to let the person hear your voice. You have a beautiful voice. Let it out. Say it. Okay. And underneath the deck, you have 34. We have source. Come through. Your connection to source is the light and love that shines through you and leads the way. Come through. I'm loving this. This once again is about the light. Your connection to source is the light and love that shines through you and leads the way. So, for those of you who believe in source, God, universe, however, infinite intelligence, however you want to use in your terminology. I use universe, I use God, and I use source. To be honest, I use all the terminology. Either way it goes, it's a divine being for me, my love, my God, my connection. And I truly enjoy my relationship with source. And what I can honestly say is, when you have a connection to your source, there is something that is beautiful when you can pass your burdens on to something else, when you can hold on. It's something about faith, faith of a mustard seed that helps you to go forth, go on, continue onward in your journey, in your tragedy, in your challenge, all of that. But always remember, again, there is a higher source, there's a higher being here. And if you could tap in, if you can tap into that, understanding that source got your back, universe got your back. All you have to do is that first step of leap of faith, you all good. For me, it took some time, but I had to keep turning it over to God and saying, please, I know there's a lesson. Help me with my heart. Help me with my healing. Help me with my talking. Help me in my understanding. But it helped me to get through. And I'm so glad I made it to the other side. Thank you. And I give the praise all the time. Take time to give praise. It's gratitude, baby. And one thing is for sure, gratitude is a gateway of the law of attraction. Like attracts like. And so when you're in a space of gratitude, in a space of being blessed and happy with your blessings, guess what? More blessings are presented to you. It's like opening the door. And so you're letting all the blessings come through. So always honor and give respect to source, to God, to universe, to infinite intelligence, to higher self, whatever the case of how you see it. I always love that process of doing. When I do my readings, I'm giving thanks to my spirit angels, ancestors, spirit guides, divine one. I call source divine one. So whatever you call it, claim it and name it. Stay connected, beautiful people, through this trying time. You got this. You got this. One of the things I have a wonderful new deck called the Sacred Symbols. The Sacred Symbols. I'm going to do a flip through recording about the sacred symbols, probably do that after this. But these are my new decks and I love them. The first one we have is Trust, 16, Trust. And underneath the deck, we have Transmute 44 with the snake. So the snake is all about, I'm just going to start with the one that's underneath the deck real quick. The snake is associated with change, transformation. And so there's a changing of thing. And that's what basically what transmute is, converting something into something else. Okay. So converting one source of energy to something else. So right now we're talking about what? Those who are dealing with a challenge of feeling some form of fear. But I'm here to tell you and remind you, we have the power to transmute. I'm sending out the intention that my words, my message, us being together right now is transmuting whatever you are going through, whatever you feel you are being challenged by. To know that you have the power. You have the power, you have source to help wield you on to get you through your challenge. And that I know for a fact, it's temporary, my love. It's temporary and it's only going to get you better, stronger, more resilient. It's making you a warrior. You didn't know that that was the intention, but guess what? Because you were so busy in that, oh, woe is me. You didn't realize it was sharpening your sword, and that it was making you sharper. Like I said, more helpful, because guess what? Your lesson that you're learning through this process is going to help somebody else out. You'll be able to share your story just like I was able to share mine. So transmute that energy that you're dealing with right now. into something more powerful and beautiful. Transmute it, harness it, and create something wonderful, a beautiful story, a success story to tell others. And we also have trust, and trust the process. This is a picture of, what did it say? The void. It's the void. And so you sometimes, when we can't see the unknown, when we can't see what's out there, because every day, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We have an idea of what we put in our calendar, but we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know the weather. We don't know if there's a earthquake, a hurricane, tornado. I mean, seriously, anything can happen at a moment's notice, a flood. We think it's one thing, it's going to be small, it's going to be this, and it winds up being magnitude of this and 7 or 8. I mean, like, we just don't know. And because of that, it's a trust factor into source. It's a trust factor into universe that all is well. Like I said, even though the hangman is hanging, there's still a moment of quiet and enlightenment that's happening, a spiritual awakening that is happening. Trust that it's happening for you versus to you. All right, moving on, because I'm getting long-winded, but it's been a long time since I've been with you, family. And hear me when I say I enjoyed this moment. We also have, I picked self-care cards. I picked some self-care cards and I also picked some career and finance cards, because guess what? If we talk about Taurus energy and we talk about love, care, balance, and all that good stuff and harmony, well, guess what? It starts with us, right? So I got some self-care cards, and the first one is 51, sync with the moon. Ha, 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 sync with the moon. So because we're dealing with new moon energy right now, what do? New moon energy invites room for us to write out our intentions. What do you want? What are your goals? What are your desires? Marrying your emotional side with the King of Cups, marry the two. If you're a practical person who like numbers and analytical data, just like most earth energies do, this is the time to connect emotionally to your feminine side, the feminine divine of the moon. What do you want? I'm in my progress moon. So again, my energies, my flow is going towards my career, my finances. I already know it. It's done. So beautiful people, do you have an idea where you're going, where you're heading? What's the next goal? What's the next mission? I need you to sink into this new moon energy and write down what new thoughts, ideas, new projects, new hopes and wishes that you are in the process of manifesting right now as we speak, that you can see and connect that with your mind to your heart. Make that connection. That is how magic happens. This is how we present the magic. It's not just knowing, it's connecting it to the emotional side so that the two can bridge together and create this wonderful magic. Know that. Sync with the moon. Use your moon energy, beautiful people. We also have 54. Watch a movie. Watch a movie. Sometimes in our sadness, and this worked well for me. Oh, this worked so well for me. Sometimes in our sadness, we need a distractor. Okay. And so watch a movie. If you're feeling yourself being down in the dumps, oh my goodness, watching a comedy can literally change your life and your perspective. Watch a comedy show. I found myself watching a lot of Netflix and Prime because I was watching comedy in moments when I was feeling too depressed. Even my husband would lean over and say, babe, here, let's watch this. Well, let's watch a comedy. I'll watch it with you. Let's watch some comedy. And instantly it shifted gears. You have to laugh, beautiful people. You have to laugh as a reminder of what we are living for, why we find happiness, to change the vibration and the frequency to get us up. If we're feeling down, we need to change and get it up. All right. So you see her cuddling with her fur baby. She got her cup of probably tea. She's in the bed. She's enjoying her tea and she's watching her movie. Get a little thing of popcorn, have a little thing of chocolate, dark chocolate, and watch a movie. All right. And another last one underneath the deck, we have 8, chanting. I cannot stress this enough. A lot of times in our meditation, if you're not familiar with chanting, you can always start with the ease of Om. Om. O-M, Om. And if you don't know all the chants, baby, cousin Google is right there to help you through it. But I would say start with Om. Find a space and a place to harmonize with your throat. That will help you with your speaking up, because Spirit is telling me we got to work with this throat chakra. We have to work with this throat chakra and speaking up. And so one of the ways, and one of the ways to exercise the throat chakra and getting it ready, work with it. Use your diaphragm and get it going. All right. So check that out. Okay. If what you've been doing has not been working, my loves, it is time to do something else. Yes, come through. Now, for the career and finance, because that's what, again, Taurus energy is all about. I had to pull these cards out. First one up we have is envy. Envy. We also have mechanic. And underneath the deck, we have artist. Let's start with envy. This is interesting. Envy. Remember, there's 3 options here. Tune in to what is calling you, beautiful people, and eliminate the rest, right? And I'll tell you what's hollering at me. Number 1, you could be envying other people's financial success. You could be envying other people's financial success. Beautiful people, one thing we need to fight is if we're feeling like we're becoming haters, okay? And let me tell you why. When you hate on other people, you're busy blocking your own blessings. Remember that. So don't be envious. Ask questions. How about that one? If you're feeling like the problem is you're beginning to feel jealous about another person's success, even though you've probably been in the same role for 4 years and this person just popped in off the street and you like, how in the hell they wound up? Don't sit there getting mad in your feelings, arms crossed, hating on them across the room. Walk over to them and ask them, who do you know and what did you do? Get information, because that information might help you to get to your next step. But you'll block your blessing every single time when you're wishing harm or dismay on somebody else and their financial success. You keep putting out bad vibes and juju out there, it bounces back and comes to you. So that's a no, beautiful people. Get information. That's what you do with a smile. All right. All right. Second one, try not to live beyond your means just to keep up with the others. Ooh, that's coming at me. Try not to live beyond your means just to keep up with the others. You will go broke trying to keep up with the Joneses. If those of you out there, and I know someone is out there on these social media chats and apps sitting up here thinking you're going to compare yourself to the likes of a Kardashian or some other random rapper, singer, whomever, social influencer out here. It is a facade, beautiful people, and I really need us to wake up for those who are not woke already, because this is not everybody. But we cannot keep up with the Joneses. It's not our place to. Be you, beautiful people. Slow and steady wins the race. Use this Taurus energy, slow and steady. Don't worry about everybody else. Focus your energy on you, all right? And lastly, others could be envying your success. Careful who you trust. Trust with money matters. Here we go with that trust. Oh, that's really hollering at me. Remember, we have the card of trust. Others could be envying your success. Careful who you trust with money matters. Sometimes we don't need to be out here telling everybody our business. How about that one? That's it's coming at me very clear. A lot of times, a lot of people don't know what's going on with me, my household, where's my next move, unless I tell them. And that's the rule of the game. Nobody knows what you're going through unless you tell them. I need to be on social media more. I do. Most of the time I'm on social media when I'm doing these. I'll be on here because of the oracle readings. But let me tell you something right now. If you don't get nothing else from this video right now, I need you to download and tune into this message. A lot of times when you put too much information out there, you are allowing an open space of energy for people who are not as elevated as you to come into your space and send you bad juju, send you bad energy. And that might not even be their intention, but because they're not in the right frequency, because it happens, they're not happy, they're not in the right frequency. And what did we just get through talking about? Being envious. They might throw out that energy. All I'm saying is make sure you're conscious enough to return to sender. But it's all about your behavior as well. Stop telling everybody what you're doing. Stop telling everybody what your goals and wishes are. If you cannot identify who your tribe members are, you do not need to be telling randoms your business. Another line my mother used to tell me all the time, I could show you better than I can tell you. And that is the truth of the matter. I'd rather show you than tell you what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, it's done. Mission complete. Whatever you put out there doesn't mean a doggone thing because it's already been completed. I'm winning anyway, and it makes my heart feel well. And all I can do is wish happiness and blessings to everyone else. All right. So beautiful people, watch what you say, watch what you're putting on the internet, watch what you're doing, and be careful about who is in your tribe. All right, moving on. We also have, remember, mechanic. This is interesting. Mend what needs mending. It might be broken, but all is not lost. Mend what needs mending. It might be broken, but all is not lost. Come through. 2, consider a career as a mechanic in automotive, aerospace, or repair technician. Consider a career as a mechanic in automotive, aerospace, or repair technician. And number 3, you have the ability to easily fix your finances, but a sacrifice may be needed. Thirdly, you have the ability to easily fix your finances, but a sacrifice may be needed. So right now, the third one is hollering at me, reason because we talking about the first card that came out, self-sacrifice, the hangman. So sometimes the sacrifice may be needed. You have the ability. So some of us may be going through some woes right now. It is tax time, or other issues may be looming. Let me tell you this. Money is paper. It's currency. It's paper that everybody wants. And some of us are blessed to have. But know this. Whatever you're going through, whether it's credit, whether it's monetary, it can be fixed. Slow and steady. And if that means revamping what you used to do as far as habits, it's time to what? Speak up and tell the truth about it. Tell the truth. If you feel that you can't do it on your own, then please speak up and get some financial help and some advisement on what to do with your money, or how to better enable yourself to have better spending habits, okay? Or to create a better budget for yourself. Now, at the end of the day, all they can do is get advice, but it's up to you. Can you make the commitment on what you spend your money on? Can you make the commitment to stay consistent in what you're spending? Make sure the bills are paid first, and then what is left over, either you're saving some for whatever the new trip you're going to have, or if it's for the hot girl, hot boy summer you plan on having, or if it's something, a major purchase you want to have. But you have to figure it out, okay? It all falls on whom? Me. You, okay? So beautiful people, you have the ability to easily fix your finances, but a sacrifice may be needed. Yeah, that's what's really hollering at me. Make that sacrifice, beautiful people. If that means instead of having that coffee that you done purchased every single day, every morning, baby, you need to go to the store and buy you some coffee that you can make at home to save you some extra coins. What? Come through. A sacrifice has to be made. Instead of getting your nails done every week, maybe it's time for us to learn how to do a manicure ourselves. I'm sure I save a lot of money because people don't see me in the hair salon. People don't see me in the nail salon. I'm one of those, I learned how to do it for myself. So I've been doing it for so long that a lot of people don't even know. I go in probably once a year to get my shape as I want, but because I've been trained throughout the years, It's the Gemini in me. I'm always going to find out how to best to do hair and do nails to keep myself as healthy as possible. Sometimes those are the little sacrifices so you can have some extra money in your bank account and in your pocket, beautiful people. Just message. And underneath the deck, we have the artist. This is not surprising because, again, the artist, Venus, all of that is wrapped up in one. Focus on finding the beauty in focus on finding the beauty in your day-to-day life. Focus on finding the beauty in your day-to-day life. I like that. I do. It does help you to get through the day, especially when we're feeling our lowest. Find the beauty. Sometimes it means getting out of bed, doing our hair, doing our makeup. For the ladies, doing it, well, for anybody, doing our makeup, putting that fire outfit on, and just getting it together. Sometimes it's a manicure and a pedicure, but find the beauty or beautiful music. Sometimes it's all about just finding the frequency that we need to hear in our music. Find the beauty in every day, your day-to-day life. Number 2, the artist can be a photographer, a painter, film, graphic artist, or web designer. The artist can be a photographer, a painter, a film, graphic artist, or web designer. Are you out there as the artist, beautiful people? Come through. This is the time to speak up. Tell people what you do out there. If you are the artist, tell people what you do. Show them what you do. That's the stuff you could be putting on social media. How about that one? If we're going to use it for that. It's not about a comparison. Be your best self in what you do, beautiful people. Somebody's going to see it and appreciate you. Yes, message. And lastly, if you can't make a living with your art full-time, start part-time, but just get started. If you can't make a living with your art full-time, start part-time. Just get started. So here we go again, speaking up. Forget fear. We're past fear. If what you're doing has not been working, it's time to do something else. So if you know you can't make a living in full time because you got to hold on to that other job to maintain the rent, the bills, the utilities, and all the other stuff, the car note, the insurance, all of that, it's okay. Find time to use and display your passion in your part-time. Is everything going to be easy peasy? I can't promise you that. All I can promise you is there's a joy in people appreciating your art form and can see the beauty and time and talent that it took you to make, create, and exhibit to others. That's where you find that peace. That's where you find that inner joy and happiness, that other people can appreciate your art. And so find the time. If that is what your heart is, put that a part of your manifestation as you what? Sync with the moon. So beautiful people, let's recap. Oh yeah, no. One more thing I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it live. I have these beautiful inspirational quote cards that was gifted to me by a beautiful, once again, know your tribe, people. My girlfriend, Talisha, shout out to my lioness, Talisha. She gifted me these beautiful cards. I love these cards. And she showed up and showed out during my mother's event by helping me at the, man, she came in and started doing what she does, when she makes magic. The girl makes magic. And she sure enough stepped in and helped to get everything done, food-wise, prep-wise, all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna pull on live right now. Well, not I guess live, but right now, some inspirational quotes. So angels, ancestors, spirit guides, divine one of the inspirational quotes that the collective needs to know, heal, hear, and be aware of right now in this moment for their best selves. What are the messages? Come through. What are the messages? What does the collective need to know and hear right now to work with this new moon energy in Taurus? What is the message? There's a message that they need to hear. Inspiration. Okay. There we go. And what we have. Only look back to see how far you've come. Ooh, I like that. Only, hear me. Only look back to see how far you've come. Beautiful people, when you make that progress, the only time we should look back is when what? To see how far we come. And then we celebrate how far we've came. Okay? Because we have to celebrate where we are at the present. It's not about the past. The past taught us the lesson. The past taught us the lesson to be prepared for the present so that we can create a better future. Oh, it's all about what's going on right now in the present. So only time to look back to see how far you've come through. Oh, so if you needed a reminder during this present time of how hard this challenge is, look back to where you were and how much you've grown and evolved since then. Oh, come through. And underneath the deck, we have what lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. Oh, I like that. What lies behind you? Here we go with that past. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you, that future that does not exist right now. It does not exist. We're in the present. Pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. Take that information. Now that works together. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, beautiful people. So those were your messages on how best to work and harness the new moon in Taurus. Oh, let me pause real quick because I can't remember what's the next moon. Hold on. All right, so I found out it is full moon in Sagittarius on June 3rd. That's what's up. Yes, by that time, because we're going to be saying goodbye to the Taurus energy in a minute and getting ready for that. Pew, 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 pew. My husband says that Gemini energy. So it will be in the full moon of Sagittarius. And that's proper because what we just get through talking about? Jupiter. And Jupiter is ruled by, is associated with the sign of Sagittarius. Okay. So that is their ruling Sagittarius. That is their ruling planet. Jupiter. So this is awesome. I love it. So again, we're in that go big or go home situation. So beautiful people, make sure you tune in for that one. And as always, I love to tell people, man, always remember to shine your light. Reason being is because you never know who you may inspire. Today, we received a lot of messages. We received a message of the hangman. We received the message of the King of Cups to surrender, to make the sacrifice and surrender to whatever the challenge is and connect to your emotional side of compassion to yourself and to your compassion to others. And understanding that there is a time where we're going to have to let go of the fear and speak up. Speak up, knowing that Source got our back, because we have to trust the unknown. We have to. Why? Because Source always got our back. And the energy that we're dealing with right now is a transmutation. So we can take whatever negative that we think we are experiencing and change into a positive. It's all in the mindset. Beautiful people, sync with this new moon in Taurus, sync with it. So create your new intentions, your new goals, your new wishes and hopes and dreams. And during this time of when you're dealing with that hangman challenge that's going on right now, even though you're in that space of surrendering, always know when you're feeling down, there's techniques you can use. One of the ways to get yourself in a high vibration is watch a movie, watch a comedy. It would definitely help you. And do some chanting, beautiful people. Find time to do some chanting. If you haven't done it before, what's it going to hurt you to try? And also remember, people could be eyeballing you and seeing you and being envious. But one thing we will not do is be envious of other people, because it blocks our blessings. Remember that when you're wishing other bad stuff on other people, it has a tendency to float back to you, especially if that person is protected and has a return to sender. So be careful about that information and stuff you putting out there in that energy. Okay. We're all about protecting our energy, and beautiful people, that also means protecting what you have, and be careful what you're putting out there in social media. Remember, everybody ain't got to know your business. Just go ahead and do it. At the end of the day, you can show them better than you can tell them. And also know that you have the ability to fix your finances, all right? But keep in mind that sacrifice needs to be made through the hangman, and that you are the artist. And if you can't make a living with your art full time, start part-time just to get things started. And I love these inspirational quotes. Only look back to see how far you've come, and what lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. And beautiful people, that concludes your reading. I had a pleasure of being here with you again. Mwah, beautiful people, I love you, and I want you to continue to love on yourself, and it's going to be all right. Enjoy this new moon in Taurus. Enjoy the slow and steady energy, because Taurus is a slow and steady, but they get the job done. So even though things might not be moving as fast as you want them to, know that it's happening what? For you versus to you, beautiful people. Mwah. Enjoy the rest of this energy. Take care until next time. And then check out when I go ahead and do the revealing of this deck, the sacred symbols. And I might go ahead and do revealing of this one. Matter of fact, why not? All right, beautiful people. Mwah! Take care. Bye. It's been such a long time, but I appreciate you hanging with me. Oh, yeah. And subscribe, and share. It's a way of spreading the joy. It's a way of spreading the information. It's a way of helping me with my analytics. And hear me when I say, it's good juju. All right, beautiful people. Take care. Bye.